Hi guys, it's Night Fear, and I'm coming on today to do my TBR for the ACMC Readathon, and that stands for Animal Companions and Mythological Creatures. This readathon is going to be going on through the whole entire month of March, and it is being hosted by Elliot Brooks. I will link her announcement video down below so that you can see her talking about these prompts and what this readathon is about. There are two choices for bingo boards, and this is the choice that I picked. I do not have a book for every prompt, but it's close. So this is going to be a longer video. I'm sorry for that. I'm going to try to briefly tell you what that books are about. Some of them I know a little bit more than others. Some of them I don't really know a lot. Either I saw recommendations from other people, or Elliot Brooks herself recommended these. So yeah, we'll get on with it. So the first, as you can see, I've been going across the thing, but the first prompt is to read an adult book. Now, these either has to have an animal companion or a mythological creature of some kind. Now, some of these, I'm not sure how that fits in, and so... And some of these I actually got from the comments of her video that people that have read things suggested it too. So for the adult, I'm going to read The House in the Cerlian Sea by T.J. Klune. This is about a man who is basically, he goes around and checks orphanages. There are children that have powers, I guess. And I'm wondering if that isn't the mythological creature element in this, or if there's actually an animal. I'm not sure, but we'll see when I read it. But anyway, he goes around and checks these children at the orphanages just to make sure that they're not going to be a danger. There are so many people on BookTube recommending this right now, and it is a little on the lengthier side, but not too bad. But I'm really excited to read this because, I mean, just everybody is saying how wonderful this book is, how just wholesome and just wonderful. So, but that's the one I picked for adult. The next one is Land, and that is, it has to be a creature or a companion or a creature that's on land. For this one, I picked A Companion to Wolves by Sarah Monet and Elizabeth Bear. And the only thing I know about this is he is chosen from his warrior clan or whatever it is to be a how did I put it? To bond with a wolf. So that's basically what I know. It was just one that I was looking through and I saw it and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. So that's for the Land. The next one is Indigenous. I picked another popular book for this one because my library had it, and I actually was interested in reading this. But this is Alatsaway by Darcy Littlebear, and this is about a young girl who I know she talks to ghost animals or can summon them. And I think there's a mystery about her, something about her cousin. I don't know. I've just heard really good things, and this is one of those I don't know a lot, but when I read it, I was like, oh, or the description, I was like, oh, that sounds good. So I got this one for Indigenous. The next one is YA or middle grade. This one I picked a middle grade book, one that I actually own, that I recently got from Ollie's. And this one is Pip Bartlett's A Guide to Magical Creatures, and this is by Jackson Pierce and Maggie Stiefvater. And this is just a cute little book. It's, just a girl's book here, there's a purpose of me flipping through this, and it's got like illustrations and stuff, but it's just her like little guide to different magical creatures. So I thought, oh, this is the perfect book for this readathon, and it's small, which is a good thing. So that's for that one. The next one is Asian, and for this one I picked The Golem and the Genie, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but it's by Helen Wecker. And it is about a golem and a genie. We're just gonna pronounce it like that. But the golem and the genie, the golem comes from the Jewish myth, and the genie comes from an Arab myth. So it's from Israel, Syria area, so Asian. And basically, the golem is a figure made out of clay that has been brought to life, and the genie was put in a it's a being of fire that was put into an old copper flask, and somehow both of these creatures have been released in New York City. That's all I know. It sounds really interesting. So I decided those were going to be my two mythological creatures for this prompt. Okay, so the next one is South American. For this one, I picked The Stormrunner by J.C. Cervantes. This one has got a volcano, a teenage boy, an ancient prophecy, and Mayan gods of death. So, yeah. And somebody recommended this one in the comments of her video. And so I was like, oh, okay. I don't know a lot about that, but South American sounds good. Looks cool. This is one of the Rick Riordan Presents books. I've kind of seen it a little bit. So I thought I'd try it and see if it was good. It's on the thicker side, but I have a feeling this one will go pretty fast. So, but there's that one. Then the next one is another South American one. Now this one I know very little about. This is Woven in Moonlight, by Isabel Ibanez. Please forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But this is a Bolivian inspired fantasy. I don't know a lot about this except for the woman in the story, she is going to be a stand-in for this Condessa for a marriage, arranged marriage, and so she's going in the stead of this I guess it's kind of like a princess maybe or something. And there's a relic, and her ability, she can weave different messages and stuff into tapestries. I'm not sure the animal or the mythological creature element in this, but so like I said, somebody recommended it, that they had read it and said that it fits for South American. So I'm going to hope that it has an animal in there. And it does sound interesting, and I don't know a lot about this particular culture. So hopefully I will enjoy it. There'll be an animal in here somewhere, or a creature, and I will learn some stuff, which is cool. That makes me very happy when I get to do that. The next element is Sky, and this is one of my books. And no, I did start it, but I moved my bookmarker back. But this is the Shadow Hour. I read The Girl at Midnight quite a while ago by Melissa Gray, and really, really enjoyed it. I'm not sure, like I said, I started this, and then for some reason, some other books got in the way, and so I just never went back to it, so I'm going to start it again. But this has got dragons in it, well, people that can turn into dragons. It's got a firebird, it's got I can't remember the name of the creatures that she lives with, but they're like bird people. And so it's definitely got a lot of different elements for Sky. And I'm really excited because I really enjoyed, The Girl at Midnight. I just don't know why I didn't, like I said, I put it up and it just kind of got shuffled and I just never went back to it. So I'm definitely going back to that. Excited to finally get back into that. The next one is YA or middle grade. I have not got a particular one for this, but any of these except for the first one, all of those are middle grade or YA. So I basically could read pretty much anything on my TBR to count for that, and it'll count, you can double up on these prompts. So we're going to go with that. The next one is LGBTQIA. For that one, I picked Black Wings Beating by Alex London. And of course, trying to remember. Okay, it's about a great falconer. Oh, yeah. It's about a brother and sister. They're twins. And they, one of them wants to be a falconer, and then there's a war or something, and an invasion, and so they're going on a journey and to trap a mythic ghost eagle, and then there's some kind of so the brother's going for the boy he loves and the glory that he's been craving, and then she goes to atone for the past and to protect her brother. So there is a LGBTQIA plus element to this, and it sounds like with the falconer and the eagle and stuff like that. So it's birds on this one. I actually had this out on a TBR before, and I didn't get to it, so I'm excited to get back to this one. So yeah. All right, the next one is, turn over my paper, is C. And for this one, I picked All the Stars and Teeth, and this one's mermaids, some with mermaids. The back, see, it says princess, pirate, stowaway, mermaid, and the crew makes the queen. So, and she was supposed to prove herself. She messed up. She's got to escape or be put to death, and she escapes with this pirate, and then they have to go on this adventure. And then it's by Adeline Grace. I don't know if I said that. I have also started this one before, but I didn't get very much into it. And it's been a few months, so I'm going to start it over again. Same thing. I mean, I'm probably not going to honestly get to all these books because I have another readathon also, but I'm going to try to get to as many because a lot of these I'm really excited to get to. So we're going to see how this goes, and I'm going to try to read as many as I can. Now this land, I do not have anything for. The free space, I picked Dragon Song because I want to read it again, by Anne McCaffrey. This is a perfect, actually any of the Dragon Riders of Pern series by Anne McCaffrey would be perfect for this readathon. She's passed, but she was a wonderful, amazing writer. And the Dragon Riders of Pern series is just, so good. This is actually a series within the series. There's 3 of them, and this is the first one. But it's about this girl, Melanie. Is her name Melanie? Yes, Menally. But all she wants to do is to be a harper. And they're people that go around to the different... it's been a while since I've been back in this world. I can't remember what they're called. But they go to the different places and they read or they sing and play and they write tunes. Basically, it's their stories that are passed along from place to place. And she, they don't want her father doesn't want her to be that because she's a girl. And I don't think there are a lot of girl harpers, if I remember right. And then so she runs away and she finds fire lizards, which are little dragons. And yeah, it kind of goes on from there. And it's a really good, if you guys haven't read this, at least read these 3. It's Dragon Song, Dragon Singer, and Dragon Drums. These 3. And I do have all 3 of them, and I've read them several times. This is actually my copy. I've actually read this particular copy twice before, I think. Once before, twice before. But yeah, I definitely recommend these. And these are a good place to start. It kind of gives you a taste into the world. And the fire lizards are fun. They're a lot of fun. So anyway, so the next one is another Indigenous. For this one, it's another reread. That's Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell. Oh, this book is so amazing. I've read this a few times, but this is about a girl who gets stranded on an island in the on an island on the coast of California, and she is stranded there by herself, and she only has the animals there for her friends, and it's how she survives on the island. This is actually based on a real woman. I mean, the story is fictional because they're not quite sure how she survived, but there was a woman that did survive on an island similar to this, and it has a little bit in the back about her. So it's really interesting that he based this on a real person. So, but yeah, I'm going to read this again, and it's perfect for this readathon. Then the next one is Disability. And for this one, I'm going to read, hopefully, Age of Assassins by R.J. Barker. This one I have on hold. I'm not sure if it's going to come in. I don't know if there's another one I can get that's Disability. So we will see. So this might be one that I don't fulfill. But it says to catch an assassin, use an assassin. I don't know a lot about this one, except for that I think the assassin has a wolf. I can't remember. And then I think this one was the one that they use a cane, I believe. I could be wrong. But I know I have had this on hold before, so it was something that was on my radar, but it wasn't there enough that I remember exactly what it's supposed to be about. So we'll see. Like I said, it's saying that my library, it could be, 3 or 4 weeks before I get it. But on the e-library, you never know how fast. Sometimes you get it a lot faster than that. So we will see. So then the next one is mental health. For mental health, I picked Unhinged by A.G. Howard. This is the second in a series. It is an Alice in Wonderland retelling. And the cool thing about this is the writing. Oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. The writing is actually purple. It's not black. It's actually purple. I don't know how much you can see of that. But anyway, I read the first one quite a long time ago. It was splintered, not shattered, splintered. And you actually see a little bit about, there's the cover of that one, about the mental illness rep. And I know her mother is in an asylum. So I'm not sure how much exactly it goes into that. But there are a bunch of mythological creatures, of course, in Wonderland. A lot of different things going on. And this kind of continues on with that. I'm not going to say a lot because it is the second in a series. But I really love that cover. It's just so cool. Then the next one is C. And for this one, I got an interesting book that I just found at my library. I was just going through and trying to find something. And this is called The Beast Player. It's not a graphic novel. It almost looks like by the cover you would think it would be, but it's not. But this is by Nahoko Yuhashi. And it's translated, and it's Japanese, I think. But it's about a girl who can talk to water serpents. And they are the core of the kingdom's army. And so some of the creatures are mysteriously dying, and her mother is sentenced to death as punishment for it, and she sends away her daughter, which is our main character, to safety. Now she's trying to, she can communicate with both the terrifying water serpents and the majestic flying beasts that guard her queen. This skill gives her great power, but it also involves her in deadly plots that could cost her life. So, I'm excited to read this. It looks really interesting, and I've never heard anybody say anything about this. But I think the water serpents have more to do with this. So even though it has a little bit other animals in here, we're going to count this as C because of the water serpents. Okay. So the next one is European. Pretty much anything on here I'm thinking could be considered European, if I'm not mistaken. Well, not anything, but a lot of these could be considered European. So we're just gonna leave that, and maybe I'll fill it in later. Then we have Beyond, which is like supernatural type or different kinds of creatures. So for this one, I had this book. I got it from Kindle Unlimited, and I haven't read it yet. It's called Magic of the Gargoyles by Rebecca Chastain, and it's about there's gargoyles and stuff in this world, and this girl, a baby gargoyle, basically breaks in on her, comes where she is, and asks for her help. That's pretty much what I know. You had me at baby gargoyle. So, of course, baby gargoyle, that would be the, beyond mythical creature. So, yeah. Sounds interesting. It might not be any good, but, and it's a series. So, me, got to start a new series. The next one is Sky. So this is one I've had on a TBR before. This is Dragon Haven by Robin McKinley. This is like it's real life, and this father and son are in charge of this dragon habitat, and they are going to, I think, check on the dragons or something. This little boy has never really seen dragons. He's seen, I think, gotten an impression that there are, but he's never seen one. And then he finds a dragon he meets a dragon, and she's dying, and then she's just given birth. So he finds a mother, and she's dying, and hey, take care of my baby kind of thing. So yeah, this should be good. And I love Robin McKinley. She never seems to write the same type of book, but they're always good. She's got a wonderful Beauty and the Beast retelling. I've also read a marvelous vampire book by her. And she's just got so many different books, different kinds of books. So I'm curious to see if I'll like this one. It's a little on the thicker side, but hopefully I'll get to that one. Then we have, the next one is African. This is one I'm excited, but I understand this is a novella, so hopefully I'll be able to get to it. But it's called The Deep by River Solomon. This one is, I didn't realize it's actually based on a song, and that song is based on an Afrofuturist mythology. But this is about African slaves that were basically pregnant African slaves that were tossed off the ship, gave birth, and they became these mermaid creatures. And so this is the story of them. And I've heard some wonderful things about this story. I've really been wanting to read this. I have it on hold at my library on ebook, but if it doesn't come in, I also have it. You can get it on script too. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. Hopefully this will be one of the first ones I get to, because yeah, and it's short from what I understand, because it's a novella. So yeah. So, and Rivers Solomon is a very good author from what I understand, because I haven't gotten to read anything from them yet. Okay, the next one is another Beyond. And this one I picked A Gathering of Ravens by Scott Oden. Now the way that my library has this described, and the way that I was kind of remembering this on here, I'm not exactly sure if this quite fits Beyond, but I think it does. What it is see, when it made it sound like it was more of a god, like an evil god. But this, when I was looking up it online, it said that it was a monster that was like an orc type creature. So I'm not sure, but either way, it's the last of its kind, and it's kind of died out, and he is trying to, I guess, see the world and figure out what's going on. And he meets this Christian girl and takes her hostage, and it's the story of that. But it's also, they said it's the last days of paganism, it's Viking era, and it's Norse and Celtic mythology based. So all of that just sounds amazing, and not sure why it's a gathering of ravens, but hopefully I will get to it and we will find out. But I love that cover though. It's just so amazing. So we're to the last two, and both of those are physical books. So for Asian, I have Unraveled the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim. This is the second one to, why can I never remember? To Spend the Dawn, and this is a duology, so this is the last book. But I love Spend the Dawn, and Spend the Dawn was basically runway Mulan, kind of, or if Mulan was, you know, in a competition for runway. But it's about this girl that she has to dress up as a boy because women are not allowed to be tailors, and she goes to the palace to make or she wants to become the tailor to the king or something. It's been a while since I've read it. And this one kind of goes on to that, and I can't really discuss the element in this one that makes it fit this readathon, because if I do, it'll kind of spoil the end of the last one. But trust me on this, it does work, and it would fit under the Beyond category, though, I think, for that. So, but yeah, but anyway, I'm excited to read this one. And I was excited that my library got a hold of this. So, because I had to wait to read the first one. And then the last one is another African, and that is Beasts Made of Night by Tochi Amabuchi. And this one has also been on a couple TBRs, and this cover is just amazing. I love this cover. And this is Nigerian. That's where it comes from. And it's about these people that are soul eaters, or not soul eaters, or sin eaters. And they... not as gorgeous as I thought. Pretty purple though. But anyway, they like bring out the sins of people, and they become sin beasts, and they have to slay these sin beasts. And when they slay these sin beasts, it's kind of, they take it a little bit of it upon themselves, and a lot of them go a little cuckoo. And this is a tale of one of those, and I think it's a guy actually. Yeah, it's actually a guy. So it's a male main character, which amazingly enough, I don't get to read a lot of male main character. Well, this one I think is male. And that one's both. Oh, and that's a male. But a lot of the books I read are not male characters for some reason. And it's not I do it on purpose. I think that maybe that, I don't know, the books I'm interested in have mostly female. I just realized that. But anyway, this is a male protagonist, right? Anyway, main character. So those are the books that I've picked. Like I said, I really doubt that I will be able to get to all of them, especially since I think it's 9. I think it's 9 that I have on the other readathon, plus all of these. And you can't really cross over, because the other one is a femme positive readathon, so it's women characters written by women. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna try to get to as many of these books as possible. So wish me luck. If you've read any of these, let me know if they're accurate to fit in this readathon, or if you're participating and are reading any of these books, let me know, and maybe we can do a buddy read together. But yeah, so pretty much this readathon and the last one I read, the was it Fem something? The Femathon. Those are the two. Put them together. That's my March TBR. So that's what I'll be reading in March. So yeah, luckily it's not a short month. Oh yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. Like I said, please let me know what you think about these books. Please remember to always be kind to one another, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!